What started as a friendly rivalry has now turned into a battlefield. The laughter is gone, the alliance is shattered. The community that once cheered together now moves in silence, watching, waiting. And at the center of it all, your name lingers on their tongues like a curse. You didn't ask for this war, but the moment you claimed the throne, egos cracked, betrayals surfaced, and now, the streets are buzzing with one chilling warning. Someone is about to get jumped. The stakes are high, tempers are hotter, and the fallout is inevitable. Buckle up. This is where the drama peaks, and someone's about to learn the hard way. They stood together once, bound by a common goal to tear you down. Their weapons: gossip, slander, manipulation, and even spiritual warfare. They attacked with smiles on their faces, laughing as they weaved lies, creating a false narrative where you were the villain, the problem, the one who didn't belong. And for a while, it worked. Their unity was strong, their voices louder than yours. They convinced themselves that they were untouchable, that they had the upper hand. But something changed. The masks started to slip. The unity that once gave them power is now the very thing destroying them. The trust they had in one another is gone, poisoned by paranoia and resentment. They don't just question you anymore. They question each other. Who started the rumors? Who exaggerated the lies? Who secretly admired the one they were supposed to hate? The lines blur, and the reality they ignored is now staring them in the face. You were never their enemy. You were the mirror that exposed their flaws, the light that revealed their shadows. And now, without you to attack, they are forced to turn inward, and they hate what they see. They never truly liked each other. They only bonded over their shared disdain for you. But with that bond broken, all that's left is the truth. Their so-called family was built on falsehoods, and now it's collapsing. Now, the community that once moved as a unit is divided into factions. The liars are fighting the liars. The manipulators are manipulating each other. The very tricks they used to bring you down are now being used against them. They've spent so much time crafting illusions that they don't know what's real anymore. And the irony? It's all happening because they lost focus on the one thing holding them together: you. But what happens when the enemy no longer has a common target? They start fighting among themselves, and that's exactly what's happening now. Betrayals are brewing, secrets are slipping, the energy is shifting. They wanted chaos. Now they're drowning in it. This is only the beginning. The whispers have grown louder. The tension is thick enough to cut with a knife. Someone within their circle has exposed the truth, and now the same people who once stood shoulder to shoulder are looking over those very shoulders, wondering who will strike first. It's no longer about you. It's about survival. Bonds that once seemed unbreakable are now fragile, cracking under the weight of deception. Best friends have become sworn enemies. The same people who used to laugh together, plot together, and move as a unit are now meeting in secret, forming new alliances, preparing to throw each other under the bus. They know something is coming, and they don't want to be the one who pays the price. They thought they were untouchable, that their lies would never catch up to them. But now, paranoia has set in. Every conversation is laced with suspicion. Every interaction is a test. Did they hear what I said? Do they know what I did? Who's going to expose me next? The fear is eating them alive, and the more they try to hide, the more obvious their guilt becomes. And then it happens. The betrayal. It starts with a single person, the weakest link. Maybe they were scared. Maybe they were cornered. Maybe they saw the writing on the wall and decided to act first. But whatever the reason, the result is the same. Someone talks. They spill secrets that were never meant to leave the circle. They expose conversations that were meant to stay hidden. They shift the blame, point fingers, throw names into the fire, hoping to save themselves. But all they've done is light the match that will burn everything down. Now, there is no more loyalty, no more trust. They are officially at war with each other. Some are still trying to keep things together, to maintain the illusion of unity. But it's too late. The damage is done. Those who once led the charge against you are now being hunted within their own ranks, and as the chaos unfolds, the inevitable looms over them like a storm cloud. Someone is about to get jumped, physically, socially, spiritually. It doesn't matter. Someone is going to pay for the betrayal. Maybe it's the one who talked too much. Maybe it's the one who got caught lying. Maybe it's the one who thought they were untouchable, only to realize they were the most expendable of them all. But no matter who it is, one thing is certain. They are turning on each other, and it's only getting worse from here. The plan was perfect, until it wasn't. They thought they had it all under control, that their lies and manipulations would hold forever. But when things started unraveling, they didn't just fall apart. They imploded. Now, the same people who once swore loyalty to each other are scrambling, desperate to rewrite the story before it swallows them whole. It's every man for himself. The first cracks appear in hushed conversations, frantic messages, and secret meetings. They're running scared, and fear makes people sloppy. Some are scrambling to erase their tracks, deleting messages, blocking contacts, pretending they were never involved. Others are trying to rewrite history, shifting the blame onto the next person in line, hoping to disappear into the background. But it's too late. The truth is already out, and it's dragging them under. The real frenzy begins when the weakest link breaks. One of them may, out of guilt, maybe out of fear, start talking. Not just whispers, but full confessions. Who orchestrated what? Who lied about what? Who was involved from the beginning? And just like that, the entire foundation of their scheme crumbles. Panic sets in. The ones who once held their heads high, laughing at your downfall, are now pointing fingers, throwing each other under the bus, doing whatever it takes to survive. Their unity is gone. The alliances they swore were unbreakable, shattered beyond repair. The same people who used to plot together are now in full-on damage control mode, desperate to protect themselves. Every accusation leads to another betrayal. Every cover-up exposes another lie. The ones who spoke the loudest, who led the charge against you, are now the first to fold under pressure. They scream innocence, but their own people know the truth. And the worst part? This is only the beginning of their downfall, because now the real consequences are surfacing. Criminal activity, shady dealings, spiritual warfare. Everything they thought they could hide is coming to light. The exposure is brutal. Careers, reputations, finances, relationships. Nothing is safe anymore. They were so focused on taking you down that they never stopped to think about what would happen when the tables turned. And now, they're trapped. They thought they were the hunters, but now they're the hunted. They thought they were the ones pulling the strings, but now they're tangled in their own web. The fear that they tried to instill in you is consuming them instead, and they know it's only going to get worse from here. Because at the end of the day, there's one undeniable truth. They wanted chaos. Now they're drowning in it. They thought this was just petty drama, just words, just games, just manipulation. But they played with energy they didn't understand, and now it's coming back for them. What they did wasn't just gossip. It wasn't just slander. It was a spiritual war. Every lie they told, every attack they launched, every move they made against you, it carried weight. They summoned forces they had no control over, made deals they didn't fully comprehend, and now the contracts are broken. Without realizing it, they tied their fate to something beyond them. And the moment you walked away, their power started to wither. Because their strength didn't come from within, it came from feeding off of you. They needed your energy to survive. They needed you as their target to stay united. But the moment you stopped entertaining their games, the moment you stopped reacting, The moment you refused to fight back, everything shifted. Now, the same people who once stood strong are barely holding themselves together. They're exhausted. They're drained. They spent so much time pulling from your energy that they forgot how to sustain themselves. And now, without you, they have nothing left. They thought they had control, but they were only borrowing power that was never truly theirs. The signs are everywhere. Sleepless nights, unexplained paranoia, strange misfortunes, sudden losses. The attacks they sent your way are bouncing back with force, hitting harder than they ever expected. Some of them are physically sick. Some of them are losing money, friends, opportunities. They tried to set traps for you, but now they're the ones falling into them. Because karma doesn't forget. They laughed when they thought they were winning. They mocked you, believing you were weak, believing you were powerless. But what they didn't understand is that you were divinely protected. Every attempt to destroy you was only digging their own graves. Every curse they sent out was just setting them up for their own downfall. And now they're scrambling for a way out. Some are trying to fix things. Desperate apologies, fake kindness, forced reconciliation. But it's not about what they say now. It's about what they did then. They already sealed their fate. Others are doubling down, refusing to acknowledge what's happening, but they feel it. They know something is off. They can sense the darkness creeping in. Because this isn't just about you. This is about what they unleashed. And the worst part? They can't stop what's coming. Look, you already know the game is rigged, and if you're paying attention, you know the walls are closing in. So let's talk about what we're doing about it. When you live by the day at the market's command, where profit and property rule the land, to be heard, to be held, to be dealt a fair hand, these are the things that a people demand, and we hear you. The Obsidian Inner Order has paywalls. Yes, those who stand with us, who fuel this mission, they give us ammunition to fight the Archons, to push back against the machine, to go deeper, to uncover more. And as our thank you, paid members get access to a 1-hour live personalized weekly group tarot reading, guidance, insight, and clarity for the road ahead. But kicking a man when he's down on the floor? That's something we cannot ignore. That's why, starting today, you can steal the Astral Atom exclusive daily newsletter for free. No paywall, no catch. Just join the Patreon free tier link in the description. This is the start of our conversation with you, and it's bi-directional. You can reply to any email we send you. We'll read it, we'll hear you, and we'll do our best to get an answer to you from the universe itself. If you can support, we need you. If you can't, take what's free. The Obsidian Inner Order is open now. Let's get back to work. There was someone in their camp, someone who was sent with one mission, to destroy you. Maybe they were supposed to spread lies, gain your trust, only to betray you, or even sabotage your progress from the inside. They were a plant, a spy, a weapon meant to take you down from within. But something happened. The more time they spent around you, the more their perspective began to shift. You weren't the villain they were told you were. In fact, you weren't anything like the person they painted in their stories. You weren't weak, you weren't arrogant, you weren't a threat to anyone, at least not in the way they made it seem. You were simply you. And that changed everything. At first, they tried to ignore it. They reminded themselves why they were there, why they had agreed to play their role. But the more they observed, the harder it became to deny the truth. You weren't the problem. They were. The very people who sent them to destroy you were the ones who lacked integrity, the ones who twisted reality to fit their own agenda. And now, this hitman has a choice to make. Do they stick to the plan? Do they follow through with the betrayal, knowing full well that it's based on lies? Or do they switch sides, knowing that doing so will make them a traitor in the eyes of the very people they once called friends? They choose you, not because you asked them to, not because you begged for loyalty, but because the truth is undeniable, and they can't be part of something so corrupt anymore. They turn their back on the people who sent them, and in doing so, they become the biggest threat to their own community. Because now, they know too much. They were there when the plans were made. They know who said what, who did what, and how deep the deception really goes. And the people they once stood with? They know this too. Now, the same ones who sent them after you are scrambling, because they've lost control of their weapon. They don't know what this person will do, what they'll reveal, who they'll expose. They just know that their secret is no longer safe. And the scariest part? They never saw this betrayal coming. They thought they had it all figured out. Every move was calculated. Every attack was designed to bring you down. They whispered lies about you, spread rumors to tarnish your name, and set traps they were certain you'd fall into. They wanted to see you broken, humiliated, and stripped of everything. But instead, everything they did came back to them. At first, they didn't notice it. The small inconveniences, the unexpected setbacks, the strange misfortunes. It was subtle. Missed opportunities, financial struggles, relationships crumbling. But as time passed, the pattern became undeniable. The very weapons they used against you were turning against them. The lies that became their own undoing. Some of them tried to destroy your reputation. They whispered in ears, spread rumors like wildfire, convinced people to turn against you. They wanted you to be seen as the villain, the outcast, the one no one could trust. But lies are fragile. All it took was one contradiction, one slip-up, one moment where the truth shined through. And suddenly the people who once believed them started to doubt. The same mouths that once spread slander were now fumbling to explain why none of it made sense. And just like that, the credibility they worked so hard to build collapsed. Now, it's their names being questioned. The same crowd they used to manipulate is now turning on them, realizing they were the real deceivers all along, the curses that reversed. Some of them played dirty, not just with words, but with energy. They sent curses, wished for your downfall, and used spiritual warfare to drain your strength. They thought they were untouchable, that they could tap into forces beyond them without consequence. But the universe doesn't work that way. Energy moves in cycles. What you send out always finds its way back, and now they're feeling it. The sleepless nights, the unshakable anxiety, the sickness that doctors can't explain, the sudden loss of money, opportunities, and support. They thought they were in control, but now they realize they were playing with fire, and the flames are burning them alive. The theft that led to their own lack. Some tried to steal from you, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. They wanted your ideas, your gifts, your blessings. They thought if they took from you, they could become you. But blessings can't be stolen. They're assigned. And now, they've lost everything. The same people who tried to block your path are now standing at a dead end. The opportunities they once had, gone. The influence they once wielded, fading. They took, but instead of gaining, they lost. Because what wasn't meant for them was never going to last. The betrayals that led to their own downfall. They thought they could manipulate, control, and silence you, but in trying to do so, they exposed themselves. They spent so much time crafting a trap for you that they forgot one simple rule. You can't set fire to someone else's house without burning your own. And now, they're standing in the ashes of their own destruction. They wanted to see you fall. Instead, they fell into their own pit. And the worst part? They have no one to blame but themselves. The cracks have turned into deep fractures, and now the entire foundation is collapsing. The lies, the schemes, the betrayals, they've all come full circle. And someone is about to pay the price. The panic is setting in, and it's getting ugly. They know the group isn't what it used to be. The false alliances, the fake friendships, the so-called unity, it was all a facade. And now that it's crumbling, they're desperate to find a scapegoat. The one who talked too much, they're the new target. There's always one, the one who panicked first, who spilled too much, who thought they could save themselves by shifting the blame. Now, they're the one everyone is looking at. Whispers turn into accusations. Who gave up our secrets? They point fingers. They corner them. Then they make them feel the same fear they once inflicted on others. But it's too late. Their desperation to escape only sealed their fate. The one who made the wrong move. They're getting kicked out. Maybe they got sloppy. Maybe they got caught in a lie. Maybe they tried to manipulate the wrong person and it backfired. Whatever the reason, they're out. The same people who once cheered them on have now decided they're dead weight. They're being exiled, cut off, thrown away like they never mattered. Because in a group like this, loyalty isn't real. The moment you're a liability, you're disposable. The ultimate price. Someone is about to be sacrificed. And for some, it won't just be social. For the ones who played the dirtiest, who went too far, who crossed lines that can't be uncrossed, the fallout could be even worse. Financial ruin, public humiliation, legal consequences, even physical danger. They thought they were in control. Now, they're the ones being hunted. And the irony? Everything that's happening now is because they came against a chosen one. This was never just about drama. It was about spiritual law. And now they're realizing, too late, that the price for their actions was far greater than they ever expected. You never had to lift a finger. You didn't have to seek revenge, expose them, or even defend yourself. The moment you removed yourself from the chaos, everything began to fall apart on its own. Your presence alone was enough to disrupt their lies. Your energy was the force that held everything together. Even when they were working against you, they fed off you, manipulated your kindness, and used your name to build their narratives. But now they have nothing left to hold on to. And the best part? This is not your battle to fight. The universe, karma, divine law, whatever you want to call it, is already handling everything for you. All you have to do is stay focused, stay protected, and keep moving forward, moving. While they scramble in panic, while they turn on each other and try to escape the mess they created, you rise. Your only job now is to maintain your peace, protect your energy, and let karma do what it does best. Because the truth is clear now. You were never the problem. You were the lesson they refused to learn. Chosen ones, you don't need to do anything. Karma is handling it all for you. The same people who conspired against you, who laughed at your struggles, who thought they were untouchable, are now destroying themselves. They thought they could play dirty and walk away unscathed, but the universe never forgets. Every lie, every betrayal, every act of manipulation is now coming back to them tenfold. And you? You are free. Free from their games, free from their drama, free from the weight of their negativity. Your only focus now is to keep moving forward, to stay grounded, and to continue thriving in your own power. So laugh. Stay unbothered. Let them reap what they have sown. Their downfall is no longer your concern.